Welcome to another episode of Give It a Year with me, Jenny Q. Give It a Year is a podcast diary where I share all sorts of fun and interesting things with you. It is a cyberspace that I'm creating with positivity and no expectations of you and no expectations of me. The podcast diary is a place to reflect, a place to share, and it is an accountability tool for myself, and I do it also just because I enjoy it. This is a cyberspace and place where you can come and visit, and you can just get away from the rest of life, and I have no expectation that you will leave me a message, that you'll buy a program from me, that you'll subscribe to my newsletter, that you'll do anything like that. This is just an in the moment by moment experience for you. And at the same time, I am hoping that you have no expectation of me in that you think I'm going to solve your problems, or that I have the solution, or that I am an expert on anything other than my own life. Okay. That's basically it. I am, as I said earlier, Jenny Q. I am an artist. I am an author. I am a developmental services worker. I am a sister. I am a daughter. I am Canadian. I am all these things. I'm also now a podcaster. 10 episodes in, doing okay, and here I am. So today's episode, before I get into it, I want to share, I have 4 podcast promises that even though this is a very relaxed space and it's not highly formatted, I do have 4 expectations I give myself and 4 promises, and there are to you, those of you who do come to listen and spend time with me. So my first podcast promise is every Tuesday I will be here. I promise that. I'll be here. I can't guarantee what's going to happen, but you can count on me. Promise number 2. All the content that I offer and share will be original. I might refer to someone else, I might quote someone else, and I might discuss someone else, but all of the thoughts, reflection, all of those things, original, Jenny Q thoughts. Number 3, my episodes will always have a positive spin. I may discuss something that might not be so happy, like politics or death or illness or some other crazy thing, but I will always find a positive spin. And that leads me to podcast number 4, which is promise number 4, which is I will always leave you with a question of something to ponder. And again, that's up to you, but it is my gift, I guess, as a summary to whatever it is I share, so that you can take it away and maybe dissect it or think about it or share it or do whatever you need to do with it. But anyway, I will always leave you with a question. So let's jump in a little bit. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just said that. I hate it when people say that on all the videos on YouTube and stuff. I get why they say it now. It's kind of catchy. But okay, let's jump into today's episode, which is entitled. No, it's not entitled. It's titled. The title of this episode is Surprise! It's me. That will become a little clearer towards the end. But the inspiration for this episode is the fact that this past week I realized, I always kind of knew it, but definitely the revelation of this week has been that I am truly in my own way. And even though I'm in my own way, I am good. I'm doing all right. I'm okay. And so where I wanted to start today's episode, oh gosh, I gotta figure out, I want to take this music out. Sorry. People say don't apologize, don't do whatever. I'm still trying to figure out a format. And I think, and I'll throw it out there. I think after the podcast promises, I am going to remove the music, because the music in my mind is for intro and extra, and so it's there for a little bit, but I want to take it out otherwise. Anyway, digression, but this is a diary. It is meant to be messy. It will be messy. It might have moments like that where it's squirrel and it goes from one thing to another. Excuse me. And that's okay. So, today's episode, surprise, it's me. It started out with me reflecting earlier today and thinking, oh my gosh, I haven't got anything prepped for the podcast. And I started to beat myself up in my head. And I was like, how could I not put time aside? I know I do this every week, and I know that this podcast comes up, and I know I want to make it good, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, it gets roped in with a bunch of other things that go on in my brain. And this last week in particular, I've woken up a couple of days with anxiety attacks. I used to get anxiety attacks a lot more when I was younger, and then they stopped. And I think I know why they stopped, and I think I know why they're back. So my anxiety attacks have some physical things. My throat closes. I get cold fingers. I start to like rub my fingers. I sort of do like a little stim thing. But I also, most prominently, I spin. And when I say that, I don't mean I physically spin. I don't look like a dog chasing its tail. My mind spins. So I'll have something where I have an anxiety, say around money, which I do, and I'll have a very valid, legitimate concern and anxiety and be like, oh, I hope we have enough money for the mortgage because this happened or whatever. And it's a very real one. But then my mind will think about that one thing and somehow it jumps to other things. It'll be like, oh my God, if we don't cover the mortgage, then how will we ever pay for a funeral for when I die and, cover the cost of a headstone? And if we can't do that, how are we even going to retire? And then I spin in and like, oh, but we have to get groceries and I can't get rutabaga and I really want rutabaga, and it just spins and spins and goes into different areas. And then sometimes, a spin will spin into another area of anxiety, like, will I ever sell my art? If I don't sell my art, how am I going to make money? How can I do more art if I don't make money? And then it loops, right? Like it's just a bit of a figure eight of insanity and a field of rabbit holes where I can go down and then come back up and, this, that, and the other. So I was really thinking about my anxiety attacks. I was really thinking about how, I was beating myself up, and then I took a pause because a lot of the people I read and I study say, pause, take a moment, right? And I figured out a pattern this week of what I do. I think I kind of always knew the pattern was there, but I really latched into it. So I'm going to share that with you. And then I'm going to share with you what I actually did do this week. So I figured out that, as I mentioned last episode, I have a real need to be seen. And the reason I have a real need to be seen is I've lost a lot of people in my life, a lot of witnesses. And if you go back to last week's episode, you'll understand that a bit better. I'm not going to rehash that now. Anyway, this need to be seen is very valid. And I understand why I have it. Then on November 15th, so this past Saturday, I realized that I have fear attached to the need. Now that makes it very complicated, doesn't it? I have something that I really need, but I'm scared for it to happen. And the reason I'm scared to be seen is that I have a fear of not being good enough. That if you do see me, I'm not going to be good enough. If you listen to this podcast, I'm worried it's not good enough. I'm worried it won't be interesting enough or capture enough audience members, and it won't be successful, and it won't, just as one example, with my art, I create and I want to share and I want to be like, here, listen to my story, or here, look at what I made, or whatever. But then I'm like, oh, but it's not going to sell and it's not good enough, and who's going to buy this? And I go down that, but it's much deeper than how I'm superficially talking about it now. And then, and then that leans into my biggest core fear, which is my fear of being locked away and being abandoned and being alone. So, I need to be seen, but I'm scared if you see me, you're going to go away. And it's a really exhausting pattern that I've realized. So as I said a few moments ago. So I decided to follow Jim Rohn's 5-minute formula that I've learned and studied. And so I kind of reflected a little bit, and I'm like, okay, what did I actually do this week? Because remember, this podcast is my accountability tool to help me keep me on track to earn a living as an artist and to become the strongest, most healthiest person I can be, to live in peak health so that I can enjoy this life, right? So, things that I did accomplish this week. I created a flyer for my art workshop, which I'm leading on Sunday. I did all of my workouts this week, and not only did I do my workouts, but I kept earning better scores and bests and pushing my weights and my repetitions and all that. I have a sister, and I have something special I wanted to plan for her birthday. I'd had an anxiety about the money about it, but I figured it out and I got it planned. Amazing. I also did some self-study, and which is how I came to these revelations. And I sorted out a bunch of personal things. I went to the bank, and I did some journal stuff, and I did a bunch of other stuff. Went grocery shopping and talked to my partner about some money stuff. So I did do a lot. I also completed a gang sheet, which is what you need to be able to print stuff you create and put it on fabric, because I want to start creating a textile line with my art, and it's a new creative adventure. And initially I'm very excited, but then it scares me. Again, for everything I just explained, I'm like, I need to share. I need this to be seen. I need to infuse the world with positivity. And my art is one way I want to try and do that. But then I saw the press yesterday and I didn't quite do it right. It was my first time using it, and I burned one of the things, and there was a hole in the this and the that. And I started to get down, and I didn't allow myself to have fun. Did not allow myself to have fun and enjoy. And the process, it's a learning process. Tonight, I finished off a whole bunch of bags, and they're great. I'm very proud of them, and they look lovely. But last night, I was in my own head, and I was in my way because I needed to be seen. I was so desperate for everything to be perfect. But then when there was one little mistake or one little thing that didn't look right, I had a fear that if I did put it in the gallery to be sold, or if I did put it online, or if I did offer it, that someone would buy it, but then they would come back to me and say, this isn't good enough, this is crap. And the only way I'm going to be successful in anything, or any of us will, is if you do it and try and learn from it. And I know all this from what I study, but it's different when you're living in the spin of anxiety. And it really, really struck me that, ta-da, I'm the one leading the anxiety. I'm the one fanning the anxiety. I'm the one who understands the anxiety, but I'm not the one doing anything about it. Well, actually, that's not true. I am doing a lot of things about it. So instead, I looked at everything I had accomplished this week, and I flipped that surprise, it's me, to a positive. So surprise, it's me! Surprise, it's me doing all these things. Surprise, it's me accomplishing all these little things. And I overlook and I forget that it's all these little bits and pieces that will lead to my success. My flyer could go somewhere, and, someone would want me to lead a number of workshops maybe. Or maybe I come across someone who also wants to build a positive movement, and they're like, I like your energy, right? Like, you never know. All these things. I could all of a sudden, my body could continue to lose weight, and I can build muscle, and all of this will allow me to enjoy life. Anyway, I digress. The reason this is a little all over the place is I actually had previously recorded this, and it was great, and then it disappeared. So I don't know what happened. So I'm recording it again, and as soon as I'm done this recording, I'm going to save it and then publish it so you guys can hear it. So anyway, I guess it's time to kind of wrap up and come back full circle. So I'm going to bring the music back up because it's getting into the end of the episode. So bring it back. There we go. I like the music tonight. I like it a lot. I think it's called Happy Moments or something. It comes with the Podbean program. Like, they have music you can use. I think this one's called Happy Moments. So, let's wrap up with my question that I like to leave, which is podcast promise number 4. What do you do that deserves credit or recognition? Meaning, when you make that revelation, understand you're the one who's in charge, and you understand that, when you say, surprise, it's me, are you saying it as, surprise, I'm awesome, or surprise, I'm self-sabotaging? Because no matter which way you go, you can't escape it. You are the most influential person you will ever have in your life. Like that fact or not, that's just how it rolls. So, I believe you probably deserve more credit than you give yourself. And to do that, think about what you are criticizing yourself about. Say you're criticizing that you haven't lost enough weight, or you don't have enough money, or whatever, right? And think about the things that you have been doing to try and improve that. Did you go get a second job? Did you increase your weights? Did you go for a walk? Did you change your meals? Did you go to a group? Did you, all sorts of things. Whatever your goal is, have you done anything towards it? Now, if you haven't, then you can say, surprise, it's me holding me back. But if you have done little things, be like, surprise, it's me making the efforts. And here's where I needed to be a little easy on myself before I completely wrap up. This podcast is not my job. This podcast is an interest of mine, so I should not beat myself up for not having prepared more than a week ahead, because I have other things I'm doing. I'm creating a venue for leading workshops. I have inventory I want to put in the gallery. I work out 3 times a week. I adjust my nutrition. I help support my sister through her life. Plus I work full time. Plus I need to sleep. Plus I'm in a relationship, and plus I have a house to help maintain. So I need to ease off a little bit and be like, hey, it's pretty cool. This is week 10 that I'm here consistently, and I'm very proud of it. So next week I am going to talk about, I'm going to call it the 333 for now. The 333 thing that we all can do to change the world. Whether it's the world in your own mind, or the world in your family, or the world in your community. There's 3 things we all can do, and it doesn't matter who you are. We all have this power. You can share your smile, you can share your love, and you can share your laughter. And next week, when we come back next Tuesday, I'm actually going to talk about this next week. Because it is the motivation behind my new textile art line thing that I'm creating. So I will be super excited to share that with you. I want to thank you if you've been here through this entire episode, spending this time and listening. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you understand that you are an incredible surprise. You have abilities and skills, and I'm telling you so I can hear it, so I can tell me, because I need to know it too. Have a great rest of your day, whenever that is, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye for now.